12 years ago, Fleetguard transformed itself completely and became a harbinger of a radically different way of managing companies. What triggered this transformation?
Till 2007, 2008, we were a company which was like any other company. Same processes. You can't dispatch one filter. Delivery to the customer is not important. But we were even that time at around 98% delivery, even before 2007. But the difference was we did not know the importance of delivery, number one. We had too much inventory everywhere, which used to go waste at the end of the day. Then in 2007, when we heard this TOC, theory of constraints, which we call it TOC, which is known in the world as TOC, where we found, or it appealed to us, that there is a particular logic here whereby a product can be delivered when required by the customer anywhere in the country without having too much inventories.
What would you say is a major learning from how you led this change journey?
When we started implementing TOC, people in Fleetguard started feeling that this is a new tool that has come in now. Flavor of the month, flavor of the year. So one thing we learned over here in this transformation thing is telling our people, listen, you are still going to use Six Sigma, you are still going to use Kaizen, right? But TOC will now tell us where to use it rather than using it in the entire factory. You don't need to do that. Now let us have focused projects. That was a very big learning for us. People think that TOC has come in means Six Sigma is gone and Kaizen is no. Now you will use Six Sigma but on the constraint. That was the biggest learning for us. So TOC is not a tool to improve something. It's a philosophy.
Leading organization-wide change is not easy. You must have met with considerable resistance from your team.
To change the policy to have warehouses all over, wherever our customers are. That was the first resistance that we had. And not surprisingly, from the finance people. That the costs are going to go up, inventory is going to go up, which is not a good thing for the company. Obviously, your inventories are going to go up because you are renting out more warehouses, more spaces, and space in India is not cheap. So there was one cost. Inventories were going to go up. There was going to be another cost. But that is the time that we had to take a decision, and then nothing doing, we are going ahead with this. We did that for 3 or 4 months, 3 to 6 months. Our inventories really shot up because we had to fill the buffers everywhere. But after 6 months, we started immediately seeing the benefits in terms of sale, in terms of delivery.
How did you manage to take a new methodology and make it the mainstay of the organization?
If you want to implement TOC or anything like this, which is disruptive, which is going to change the entire processes and systems or the mindset, 2 ways you can do it. One is the buy-in of employees by telling them how it is going to be, how it is not going to be detrimental for them. Yes, it's a new thing. How it is not detrimental. What are the benefits? No. How it is not going to be detrimental for you, number one. Choice, option 1. Option 2, no democracy. We have to do it. And for that, that particular CEO has to have the courage of conviction to tell them, wait for a year, I am guaranteeing you, you will start seeing the benefits, which will not be detrimental to you. These are the only 2 ways to do it. We did it in a buy-in style. We did it. Yes, not that everybody will be bought in immediately. I am not going to tell you about that we had a very smooth transition or it was all rosy. No, it was not. We had to do buy-in, and at some point of time we had to say nothing doing, we are going to do this. Follow it. I have given you an assurance, you are not going to lose your job. Follow this.
Most of the compromises in operational processes is because of the pressure of numbers. How did you manage to prevent that?
We have no targets in the company for anybody, including the top management, except what I have to present in the board. That's it. But otherwise, we follow processes. Get me more market share. It is going to get me money. For getting higher market share, what do we need to do in-house? You tell me. So that automatically the OEMs will prefer me. Simple process.
That's great. But what happens when growth targets are not met?
There are a few instances in OES sales or in aftermarket where for that particular month we have dipped. It's not that we are super duper supernatural company that every month, every day it's going to happen. No. But that person is not asked a question. Who's responsible? The system is asked a question in any meeting. Where and why did we go down? Mr. XYZ, you are not doing your job. No, we are not going to blame him. There are some facts that have happened in the market for that particular period of time which we are not aware of or which we were not aware of. So that's a learning.
When met with a crisis like the recent COVID lockdown, many companies chose to lay off people to protect themselves. Was your leadership approach tested in this moment of truth?
The biggest thing that we have done, you forget the products, you forget the technology, you forget our processes and forget all that. Doesn't matter. We have a policy, irrespective of what happens in the market or what the market situation is, recession, up, down, COVID, no COVID, whatever, there will be no layoff. No employee in Fleetguard will lose her or his job except in two conditions: unethical, underperformance. Not everybody does that. During COVID times, I have known how many people have lost their jobs. First thing that they did was remove the employees. These particular employees and the speeches of the CEOs in a few companies, all my people are my assets, is normally the things that they are speak about. No sooner bad time comes, the same assets become liabilities and they are gone. At least I have not heard. If you have heard, you tell me. In bad times, companies selling their real estate, selling their immovable properties like cars, movable properties, sorry, like cars. At least I have not heard. The only thing that I heard is axing people. That is a big differentiator, and this is a policy decision that we have taken.
What has been the response of your shareholders to this revolutionary way of managing a company?
Super duper dividends. That's my only answer.
Do you have any advice to the industry leaders who would like to emulate the success of Fleetguard?
First and foremost, ensure your people are secured and give them stability. If you don't do that, you forget any systems, any processes, they are not going to work. Number two, you treat your employees as your assets, not only in times of good times, but even difficult times. They have to remain your assets all the time. Third is focus on your constraint. only. And don't ask your people to do too many things just to keep them busy. Fourth, any leader of the organization, remember, you are the bottleneck of the organization. Do not blame people down the line for the things that are not happening in your company. So these are my 4 main things that I would tell anybody.